Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 99 of the Journey's anime titled Marnie from Spikemuth just dropped, and we are getting a Marnie vs. Ash matchup in this episode. How will it go? Well, let's find out. This is set up as a standard hyperclass battle, except this one has a bit more story than usual. Our heroes are in Spikemuth even though they're supposed to be in Wyndon because Team Yell tricked our heroes and lied to them about where Ash's battle was taking place. In Spikemuth, they come across a person getting ready to practice performing and have to stop him from attacking them. That person is Piers, the Spikemuth gym leader and the brother of Marnie, the trainer that Ash is supposed to face in the ultra class battle that he's here for. This is where they learn that Team Yell tricked them, and Piers feels ashamed since Team Yell were former gym trainers and agrees to take Ash to Wyndon on his bike. There's a funny bit here where it looks like they're gonna go at crazy speed on the bike and then it just jump cuts to Piers driving as slow as possible. I thought that was hilarious. But here, while heading towards the stadium, is where we learn about Spikemuth and Marnie. I felt like I was able to understand everything about Spikemuth, Marnie, and Piers much more in this short bit than I did in the entirety of Sword and Shield. There's probably a few reasons for that, mainly the fact that the story in the game is told in pieces, and when you're playing the game you don't play it all at once, so you might forget some things as you're playing. But the more important thing here is how bluntly they present it. Because Spikemuth doesn't have power spots and Piers as gym leader doesn't use G-Max Pokemon, people don't think the trainers here are really that strong. So because of that, no one comes to the city, and that means the local economy suffers, and you can see that with how run down the city is. So Marnie aims to change that by showing that trainers from Spikemuth can be powerful and that the city is worth visiting. And even though they lied about it, Team Yell also have the same intentions, they just go about it the wrong way. It's an interesting bit of commentary on the Pokemon world, and it's really the first time since really the first season that I can think of where they tackle this type of subject. I felt like the city itself got more character and I really appreciated that. So once Ash and eventually Go makes his way to the stadium, we know what the battle has in stake. Marnie wants to make a name for herself in her city, and Ash wants to continue to show that he's the best trainer and get to Leon. Ash brings out Gengar, Marnie brings out Grimmsnarl. The battle itself here is pretty good. I wouldn't say great, but there are some awesome moments. It does feel like there is some crazy tanking of moves going on both sides, and I know a similar thing happened in the last battle against B, but at least Lucario had been elevated in status. This is the first major battle for Gengar, so it's interesting to see how much it can take punishment wise, even though traditionally Gengar are pretty strong but fragile Pokemon. Marnie's moveset here is pretty great. Throughout the battle we see creative usage of Spirit Break, False Surrender, Darkest Lariat, and at the end even Stomping Tantrum. She eventually Gigantamaxes, but surprisingly, unlike other battle, Ash decides to keep his Gengar in normal form for 2 turns, and in those 2 turns it's able to use Dazzling Gleam to deflect G-Max Snooze and turn its face to a frowny face, the opposite of what it usually has, in order to restrict itself from sleeping. That was pretty creative. Once it eats a Max Quake though, that's when Ash and Gengar Gigantamax. By the way, we can see that Alster is also watching this match on her phone, and G-Max Gengar is able to eat a Max Starfall as well. However, like I said, it's not just Gengar that's able to tank moves. In this case, even when shrunk to normal size, Marnie's Grimmsnarl is able to avoid a Max Hellstorm and land a Spirit Break, and then the next move tank a G-Max Terra and go for a Darkest Lariat. However, no Ash match is complete without something crazy, and in this case, Ash's Gengar is running out of G-Max and is about to get hit by a powerful super effective move, so what does it do? He has Gengar swallow up Grimmsnarl before it can use Darkest Lariat, that way when it returns to normal, he can spit it out and take no damage. That is brilliant. The match ends with Marnie going for Stomping Tantrum, a move that gets stronger when the last move missed. However, Gengar throws a powerful Shadow Ball that goes through Stomping Tantrum and KOs Grimmsnarl, which means the winner of the match is Ash. He is bumped up to number 15 in the rankings, and although Marnie lost, the crowd seems to adore her and want to be on her side. The episode ends with Piers telling Marnie that she accomplished what she wanted to since people are now more willing to come to Spikemuth, and she flashes that smile at both Team Yell and Ash before telling him that she isn't done yet and will continue on. They shake hands and that's where the end of the episode is. I know some people wanted Marnie's story to be longer, but honestly, I think they did the right move here. Marnie doesn't seem like she'll be a continuous rival in this series. Instead, she seems to be more of a one-off character, and in that case, her story being wrapped up here is fine. Even if she returns in the future, she'll have a different story with different goals, so you can tell a different story altogether. Piers as well. We know in the game he eventually gives up his spot as gym leader to Marnie, and that is also hinted here while him and Ash are on their way to the stadium, but not explicitly spelled out, and it's something that the writers can always come back to if they wanted to, so I don't mind. As far as the battle itself, it did feel sloppy in some places. There's a certain flow to good battles that transitions well from move to move, and I didn't feel that here. That could just be me too also, because I kept having to try to figure out what moves were being used. However, this battle was pretty unique because this is the first time I think in actual battle setting that we've got to see a G-Max Pokemon go against the Undynamax Pokemon. And it shows here that while Gigantamaxing gives you power, being small also has its advantages, mainly the ability to dodge move, something that isn't possible in the games. So it's interesting to see that mechanic being explored here. I know something similar happened in the last battle with Lucario, but at least Lucario was Mega Evolved, so that felt a bit more fair. I think the only disappointing thing to me about this battle is that the music didn't feel epic. Don't get me wrong, the music wasn't bad, but it just felt more like background music instead of music telling a story. And the anime's been pretty good at incorporating that into its important battle, so it's pretty disappointing here that it didn't feel like that. But besides that, I have no other issues with the episode. It advances Ash's story and wraps up Marnie's. Go ahead and check it out. I'd give it a high Great Ball, lower Ultra Ball tier episode. The next episode is finally the Ash Road Trip episode. This thing has been teased since the beginning of this opening, and honestly, I don't even think the writers were originally planning on an episode like this until they saw how much the fans wanted it. Episode 100, baby. I can't wait. But anyways, that is it for my review episode 99 of the Journeys anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.